Have you ever looked at yourself and felt unfamiliar? Not because you changed on the outside, but because something inside feels different, quieter, heavier, further away. You still wake up, still talk to people, still do what you have to do, but it doesn't feel like you. And maybe that's the strangest part. Nothing dramatic happened. No big collapse, no clear moment where everything changed. And yet, somewhere along the way, you stopped feeling like yourself. The person you used to be, the way you used to laugh, the way things used to matter, the way life used to feel. And now, you're here, wondering what happened, wondering where that version of you went, and whether you can ever get them back. Losing yourself rarely happens all at once. It happens quietly, slowly, in ways you barely notice. A little compromise here, a little silence there, a little less honesty with yourself, a little more surviving. And over time, those small changes become distance. Distance between who you are and who you've become. At first, it doesn't feel serious. You adapt. You tell yourself you're just tired, busy, stressed. But eventually, you begin to feel it. The disconnect, the unfamiliarity, that strange feeling of moving through life without fully being in it. This happens to more people than you think, because life teaches adaptation. It teaches performance, responsibility. Endurance. Keep going. Push through. Stay strong. And sometimes, in becoming what life needed, you stop being what you needed. That's where the fracture begins. Not because you're broken, but because you've been stretched too far away from yourself. And the hard part is, most people don't notice until the emptiness grows, until joy feels weaker, until everything feels heavier, until they can't recognize themselves anymore. Sometimes this happens because you've been in survival mode too long. Survival mode changes you. It narrows your focus, makes everything about getting through, not feeling, not reflecting, not connecting, just functioning. And survival is useful, but survival is not a place to live forever. Because if you stay there too long, parts of you go quiet. Your curiosity, your softness, your excitement, your creativity, your emotional openness, they don't disappear, they just go silent. And silence can feel like loss. Another reason you stop feeling like yourself is because of emotional suppression. The things you didn't say, the things you didn't cry about, the pain you kept inside, the anger you buried, the disappointment you minimized. Parts of you go quiet. Your curiosity, your softness, your excitement, your creativity, your emotional openness, they don't disappear, they just go silent. And silence can feel like loss. Another reason you stop feeling like yourself is because of emotional suppression. The things you didn't say, the things you didn't cry about, the pain you kept inside, the anger you buried, the disappointment you minimized. None of it disappears. It stays. And carrying too much for too long changes how you feel. It makes you smaller, heavier, more distant. Not because you became weak, but because unprocessed emotion has weight, and weight changes posture. Not just in the body, in the soul. Sometimes you stop feeling like yourself because you built a life around expectations, not your truth. Other people's expectations, being who they needed, doing what made sense, choosing what felt safe. And over time, safety can become a cage, because a life built on approval often leaves little room for authenticity. And authenticity is where aliveness lives. Without it, you may succeed, but still feel absent. And maybe that's the hardest part. Looking at your life and knowing it works, but doesn't feel like yours.
This creates quiet grief. Grief for the person you used to be. Grief for the energy you lost. Grief for the version of yourself that felt more alive, more present, more connected.
And grief changes you, even silent grief. But here's something important. Feeling disconnected from yourself does not mean you are gone. It means there is distance. And distance can be crossed. That matters. Because many people believe this is just who I am now. Cold, tired, numb, disconnected. But that's often not true. Often, it's who you became to survive. And survival identities are not permanent. They can change, but not through force, not through pressure, through reconnection. Small, honest moments, time alone, stillness, listening, feeling, remembering. This is how people come back to themselves. Not in one big transformation,
But in pieces. A truth admitted. A boundary set. A feeling allowed. A memory revisited. A part of yourself welcomed back. And slowly, the distance begins shrinking. You laugh and it feels real again. You rest and it actually restores you. You feel emotion without running. You feel present without forcing. This is how return happens, quietly. And maybe you won't become who you used to be. Maybe that version of you is gone. But maybe that's okay, because the goal is not to go backward. It's to become whole again, to meet yourself now, honestly, without pretending, without performing, without carrying what no longer belongs to you.
and that version of you might be stronger, wiser, more real, more alive. So if you don't feel like yourself right now, don't panic. Don't assume you're lost forever. Maybe you've just been far away. And far away is not gone. It just means the journey back matters. And maybe this is where it begins.